Destroyer, huh? It's a hatchet of a knife. Look at that. Like a mini machete. Hey, how's it going? Today I have another knife to show you, and this is one that I put to some pretty good use. This is the Entrek USA Destroyer, a pretty hardcore knife. It pretty much works like a miniature machete. It's not very long, but here, I'll flip it around, and as you can see, it's pretty thick. I don't know if you could zoom in on that, but that's a quarter inch of 440C stainless steel. And let's see here, I have some notes. It is heat treated to a hardness of 57 to 58. And there's a lot of people that have their issues with stainless in a high impact tool like this. But it's so thick and it's not, super long that it holds up really, really well. It does come with a coating on it that I'm going to, flip around, and maybe you could take a look at that coating and kind of what use has done to this coating. And since it's a stainless steel blade, I'm not really a big fan on these coatings, because this is pretty much the result of it. You put the coating on there, you get this thing, it looks great. You take it out and it gets all scuffed up. So really, if it was, just a polish finish or anything like that, that probably would have been good, or just, just the steel itself. But anyway, moving on, the handle is pretty well constructed. I really like the material. So it's a micarta. They call it a black canvas micarta, and pretty much the whole idea, but with the micarta and the stainless, is you can take this stuff out in the weather. You're not going to have any issues with it. I mean, this thing can be just put in water and it's not going to rust. It's not going to have problems. The price on it is pretty hefty at a $300 Msrp, which for most people probably a little bit much. So it's going into that realm of, it's a little bit of a collector's item, and a very, very functional tool. So the one thing I do want to talk about, which I guess is a negative, I mean, the price is a little bit high. That could be considered a negative. And, but considering the price, what you get, this is a very solid knife. But then you get this, and, in some respects, this sheath, some people would say, would be a benefit. It kind of follows that whole, there's nothing about it that's going to be affected by weather. It's not going to rot or anything like that. It's not, but that's not really what the issues are. The issue here is the fact that, first off, it has this clip. Now, those clips can be, a good thing. It goes on your belt quick, and it's like, hey, I need a blade. I'm going out on a hike. Okay, you just grab this and clip it on your pocket or on your belt. It's not really well constructed, though, in the sense that, like, it doesn't really keep it on your belt very well. It can fall off very easy if you're crouching and moving or climbing or doing anything like that. It'll fall off. And actually, one time I was hiking in the rain. I brought this because it's the obvious choice for that situation. And I was hiking along a mountainside, and it was all muddy. And this thing decides to unclip for whatever reason, got caught on my jacket or however it worked out. And it goes sliding down this hill. Now, well, this, very pricey, awesome knife of mine is just sliding down the hill, so I have to go sliding after it. And it was just caked with all this mud, and it was a real headache. And pretty much, if it had a different system of being able to clip it on your belt or attach it to your belt somehow, it would have been a total non-issue. I wouldn't have had it falling and all that. Some other issues with this sheath, which they call they have it labeled as a black Kydex sheath, is when it goes in, it does click in, which is kind of nice, and it doesn't fall out. But I don't know if the camera can zoom in, but you see how the tip of it extends past the end of it right there? Can you zoom in on that? Here, let me set it down and push it like that. You see that little tip poking through right there? Well, that isn't that's not a hole that was there originally. That's a hole that you know, decided to present itself over time. It didn't take too long though. And I guess you could say, hey, well, now it has a drain hole, right? Like if you're taking it in heavy rain, you're not gonna have water pooling in there or whatever. I mean, okay, I guess that could be one way to look at it. The other thing is, that's kind of it's not like a deal breaker, but when you're hiking around, man, everybody's gonna know you're coming. And I know there's people have different, you know, methods of tightening that up, but that's a little bit of an issue. It's something that I'm not a huge fan of. It does come with these holes around here where some people I know on these, as you get into longer blades, they like to tie it to their leg. So I guess you could do it in that, you know, if you're into that, and that would be a plus for it. But overall, not necessarily a huge fan of the sheath. I think it's something they can definitely improve upon. But the knife overall, kind of like all aspects of it, it kind of makes up for it. So I'll take it. Now, as far as the MSRP, just like most knife makers, you can get it cheaper than that elsewhere, you know, besides buying it from them directly. Typically, I was searching around. I did find a source for $277.95. So, you know, that is cheaper. It's not like a crazy amount less expensive, but you know, search around, shop around, you'll be able to find it for a cheaper price. It says Entrek USA here on the blade. Not much more information than that. If you look on the other side of it, you know, there's no markings whatsoever. It comes with a lanyard hole here in the handle, which is reinforced with that steel tube in there. And the tip has this false edge, which is not sharp, but I guess really it would kind of make the tip a little bit weaker. But maybe it's to improve the piercing power of it and give it, you know, some aesthetics. Yeah, so overall, a very, very nice knife, constructed really well. 1/4-inch blade, stainless steel, overall length of 13 9/16 inches, with a blade of 8 7/8 inches. So I highly recommend it. I'm gonna split some kindling here. I wonder if I could use it like never tried it with this, but I use this technique with my hatchets, and it works great. Wow, look at that. That was fantastic. Let me find another piece like that. Let's try that again. That was pretty nice. Okay. A little bit more effort than some of my hatchets. I mean, at least on this piece. But it worked really well. All right. Split and take 100. Yeah, that's pretty good. Look at that. You know, for a knife, that is not half bad. Let me try one more time. If I can hit in the same spot, it might work. Yeah, I hit in the same spot, but it didn't quite split again. Oh, it's because I was a little off. Look at that. But pretty good for a knife, you know. A little bit hatchet-like. Look at that. All right, I can see. That's why they call it the destroyer, huh? It's a hatchet of a knife. Look at that, like a mini machete. There we go. Let's see if I can take that off. Oh, there you go. There we go. It's a pretty good looking knife, I would say. I mean, look at that. It has nice curves to it. And like the bite right here is pretty good, you know, where it flares out. A lot of weight in there. And all that thickness. It really drives into that wood. That is solid. This is nice. You know, I've taken it out a lot of times. It's been a little while though. Kind of went out of the rotation for a little while just as I got a few new items, but I'm gonna have to take this bad boy out again. You know, a lot of times I bring like my mini hatchet with me, or some other things I have, but definitely gonna bring this one next time.